Guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. As you see here on the thumbnail, women are not hiding it anymore. Now, what am I talking about? We've talked a long time about women being pretty out there and brash and bold about them wanting men's money, and they think very little of men other than that. But there's a new study out that's careerism. 88% of American parents prioritize money over family for their children. And I always say this, and you guys, I think, hopefully have taken it to heart by now. Always watch what they do. Don't listen to what they say. So all these women that are the single moms, because again, 25% of children live in a single parent home. 99% of the time that's with mom. And then the other large portion of kids, which I think is around 25 or 30%, live in a family with two adults, but they're usually not married. Meaning, again, that women will get divorced, and then they get custody of the kid, and then they get a boyfriend or another man, something else. Well, now all these parents are telling their kids, hey, you know what? It's more important to have money than family. And that'll tell you something, because adults pass on the values that they have. So all these single moms that are saying, now I'm alone, and I need somebody in my life, and I want a man to cherish me and love me and take care of me and my three kids. They have maybe they want some attention. Maybe they want somebody to boss around. But the truth is, they want the money. They say American parents prioritize work and money far above marriage and parenthood for their children. Pew Research Center report asked 3,757 parents of children below the age of 18 about goals for their children. 88% of parents thought an enjoyable career and financial independence was very or extremely important for their children, whereas only 21% thought getting married was important and 20% believed having children was important. Now, maybe this is also saying, hey, the men's communities are having an effect. Maybe that's a lot of dads saying, you know what, son and or daughter, more likely the son, don't worry about getting married. Marriage is a sham. It's gonna do you wrong. Women get way too much control. She can run you into the dirt. Don't worry about marriage. Don't worry about kids. Just stay single. Just make good money. Get your bag. Do your thing. Maybe it could be both. I don't know. But either way, I'm telling you what this basically means is that for those of you guys that really felt like, I just want to meet the right girl and have a family, and it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I mean, statistically, if this is what's being taught and this is what people believe, the most you'd get is a relationship because of only what you provide, which usually means that she doesn't care enough to even stick around. She'll probably bail on you. They say what's extremely or very important, 88%, be financially independent. So, the wife that stays at home and raises the kids and is maybe at home school teaching, forget it, because somewhat, others say, and none is 2%. Have jobs or careers they enjoy, 88%, 10 and 2, same thing. Earn a college degree, that's gone down. Now it's only 40%, where before I'm sure it was much higher than that. I think people are starting to catch on that college is a grift and worthless. Get married, 21, and have children, 20%. I think the family unit is shutting down. I can't say that I'm surprised, and I can't even say this is necessarily a bad thing. We see what happens to men in marriages and men when they get kind of raked over the coals for money. But what this also means is women are in agreement. Women are saying, you know what? No, I'd rather stay single and make my own money. I don't need a guy. And they're also saying, you know something? If I do want a guy, or if I do, as my kids do grow up, I want them to value money because that's what I value. I don't know. I think it's a good thing that at least that women are coming forward and saying that they don't value men and families anymore, because now men can truly give up that pipe dream that it's going to happen for them. And I'm not saying that it won't happen for you. I'm saying that if you plan for it and that is your goal in life, you're likely to be disappointed. It's better to as this article is saying, go out there and just be independent. And then if you happen to bump into somebody and it maybe works out right for you, maybe you get lucky. But it doesn't look like it's going to be that it's going to turn out very well for you. They say it should trouble all of us that only a minority of parents would also see marriage and family life as central goals, and even more so that nearly 50% would say that marriage and parenthood are basically unimportant. University of Virginia sociologist Brad Wilcox and Institute for Family Studies editor Elsie L. Haig wrote, this is what they've been pushing for, destruction of the family unit. Okay, you got it. What happens when we don't have kids? What happens when the younger generation doesn't have Social Security because there's no younger generation to fund the older one? What happens when products aren't made anymore? What happens when, I don't know, a lot of things are going to go away. You have to understand, growth happens when the younger generation is bigger than the previous one. There's going to be a huge contraction in business, in money availability, in people, obviously. But, and again, I can't say necessarily whether this is good or bad, but the whole, we have too many people and we need to depopulate. Okay, it's going to happen. I don't think they're going to like what that result is. One such factor is the overall decline in marriage. It's difficult to view getting married and having kids as a beneficial life goal when you haven't witnessed many good marriages yourself. I agree with that. I can't argue with that. It's a worldwide phenomenon that marriage rates are declining, and one contributing factor is the delay in marriage, where the average age for first marriage is 30 for men and 28 for women. In addition, 70% of couples cohabitate before marriage, drastically increasing practice, as 65% of couples believe cohabitating will increase their chances of having a lasting marriage, which it does not. The decline in marriage and the importance placed on it is also fueled by the breakdown in many marriages, with around 50% of adults having witnessed the dissolution of their own parents' marriages. And then what happens when you see dad get raked over the coal? You go, nope, not for me. Or you date somebody and you find out she cheats, or that women are lying, or they're all over social media doing all the crazy stuff, and guys are like, I have no interest in this anymore. And if they do have a kid, many times it's accidentally, and then mom gets to keep the kid, and then the kid gets raised by a single parent all screwed up. They say this leads to an anxiety about the prospect of divorce that is scaring America's young people away from marriage in the first place. Good. Until the thing is, the system's going to, this is how everybody's 100% or 0% today. There's no let's meet in the middle and discuss this. Nope, that doesn't exist anymore. So if you're going to keep no-fault divorce, if you're going to keep child payments based on the amount of money the man makes versus how much the money the kid needs, and even when he loses his job or he gets laid off or something and has to take a job for less, or when the kid's not even his and he's being forced to pay too much in child support and he can't afford it anymore, of course men are going to walk away from that. But the system has to come to a collapse, and instead of addressing it, like saying, hey, you know what, we need to address this. What'll they do? They'll just import a bunch of migrants. That's what they're doing now. So you'll just replace children with other people coming into the country, most of them illegally currently in many countries, and that will be your next youthful generation. I mean, it is what it is. I guess they look at it as they have to do something, and God forbid you tell anybody that they need to have a family unit and go back to maybe some traditional values. That doesn't exist anymore. We know that. Another cultural factor feeding the careerist view of modern parents is the idea that while marriage and children are important, they should be afterthoughts in light of attaining a certain level of professional success and financial independence. And the sad part is money will not replace a family. I think many of us guys grew up thinking I'd be married someday, that I'd have a partner for life. Others thought, I want that plus children. And then their hopes and dreams get dashed on a rock over and over and over again. And then they grow up saying, no, forget it. And then they teach their kids, no, forget it. And eventually, that's it. It's game over. For you young people out there, I genuinely do worry what's going to happen for you, because there's not going to be much of a society left over at this rate. See, what's happening is messages like mine and other men's channels are resonating. And guys are saying, you know what? You're right. With the laws and everything that doesn't, they're with the way that they're in place now and propped up, I don't want to be a part of that. I just don't. And then what happens is women say, well, because of social media and everything else, men are trash, men are toxic, men are this, men are that, men are weak, I don't need one, so I'm just going to chase my money. And if I do get a man, and this is the part where I was talking about in the thumbnail, that if I do get a man, I don't need him don't really even necessarily want him for a significant other. I want him for more money, for more success, for more status, for more power. Because again, they're teaching their kids this. They believe it. So I guess that is what it is. They kind of go on for another couple of paragraphs, but you guys get the idea. I think they're just saying at this point in time, you know what? No one's finding any value in the familial unit anymore. Why should they? For men, I think they're finally getting smart enough to give up on it. And for the women, honestly, I think they're just being selfish. I think that the only reason they want not all women, all, I'm not talking about that, but a good majority of them now seem to only value men as another commodity to make her life easier, to give more, to give her children a leg up. But she doesn't see it because she wants a family or wants love or wants the family unit. It's just more bucks to give to the kids, I guess. And I'll wrap it up with this today. This is from Pop Faction. I found this over on Twitter. Leonardo DiCaprio, 48, was spotted with 19-year-old Israeli model Eden Polani, I think that's how it's pronounced, in Los Angeles. And again, why can he do this? He's 48, and I once said I didn't think he was very tall, but some of you guys corrected me and said he's like 6'2" or 6 foot or something. He's taller than I thought he was. Why can he? Number one, name. He's got the name. He's tall. He's got power. He's got money. He's got status. That's what women really are attracted to. And now this nobody girl, a 19-year-old model, nobody, and now her name is in the paper. So she's getting status. Will she be treated well and fly all over the country and get money spent on her and probably get some luxurious gifts? Of course she will. So it's a leg up for her too. And what does he get out of it? A 19-year-old model. It's a win-win, at least for each of them concerned. And what is this Faye that wants to complain? She says, at this point, I can't even join in on the jokes anymore. If Leonardo DiCaprio is approaching 50 and dating a teenager, then he's just an actual, kid chaser. Let's be clear. Why does Faye need to butt in? Why does she need to put her 2 cents in? I'll tell you why. Because Faye used to probably get men. She was 19 at one point in time. Her profile picture didn't look awful. So when was she at her prime? Probably around the age of this gal. 19, fertile, young. I don't know how feminine she was, but she could have been. Maybe she was even beautiful. And what did she do? She wasted it. She wasted it chasing the money. She wasted it chasing job and career and everything else. And what happened? Maybe she found out she didn't want to be a career lady. Maybe she just didn't get the guy she wanted. But she waited. And now as her value slips down, the men's that she wants, their value is the same or more. And now it's out of her grasp. And now she's bitter. And now she's angry. And why do these 19-year-olds keep going out with Leonardo? Because of everything he has to offer. And I'm sure one of them at some point is hoping or thinking, I'll be the one to change his mind. I'll be the one to snag him. I'll be the one to win his heart, and I'll get married, and then I get to live in the lap of luxury and have all the advantages in the world for me. I think probably all these young girls think that, because I'm sure if a guy like, I don't know, myself or anybody else was dating supermodel after supermodel after supermodel, I'm pretty sure you'd always think that supermodel, the next supermodel is coming. Except for ladies like Faye, the only thing that's coming for her is cats. Cats, a lot of kitty litter, and a very bad retirement and some lonely years later in life. Guys, just put out some new content over on betterbachelor.locals.com for supporters only. I went on a 45-minute tirade against a bunch of things, none of which can I really put over at YouTube. I started the video planning to put it on YouTube, and then about 10 minutes in, I'm like, this is not going to make it to YouTube. So if you want to see that content, join me over on betterbachelor.locals.com. And I'd appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next video.